Dear students, welcome to the session of 9th Standard Social Science, Civics, Lesson 3, Human Rights. Okay, Manida Urimegal. Right? What is human rights? How can we follow that? What are the rules and regulations available for the human rights? How can we adopt that? How our country has followed the human rights for that? Okay, we'll discuss about that. Come to the learning objectives of this lesson. First one is to know about the international efforts for protecting human rights. To understand the basic human rights ensured in the Indian Constitution. Okay. To understand about the functions of institutions and issues involved in the human rights. To know about the type of human rights further. Right? Come to the introduction. Actually, this lesson travels through the history of organization of the human rights, okay, where it is created for that in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights being in the UNO, right? What are the rules, acts are available for that? Before entering the lesson, just I want to say some example from the book. On the year of June 1893, June 7th, while a person on his way to Pretoria, that's in South Africa, a white man objected the person's presence, okay, presence of a non-white man in first class carriage. Actually, he traveled to the train, but a white man, European, protested against this. Which one? The black man was traveling inside the white man's carriage, no? That was opposed to by the white man, I mean the European, okay. And the person was ordered to move to a van compartment at the end of the train. Actually, you are not allowed to go for the train. You may travel only for at the end of the train. It's a first class. Just go away. The man who had the first class ticket refused. Who is that? That is our Indian. Refused to leave, but he was thrown off the train at Pietermaritzburg. Okay, that was shivering in the winter night. What is that? Waiting room of the station changed the course of his life. Who was he? He took up the fight against racial aggression, or the oppression. The spirit for active non-violence started from that moment. See, he was known by you all throughout the world, known about his name. That is, he is called as Mahatma Gandhi. Made the momentous decision to stay on in South Africa and fight for the racial discrimination in M.A B.Ed, okay, against the Indians. Out of that struggle emerged his unique way of protest, non-violent of Satyagraha. That's very well. His policies are truth and non-violence, especially in the South Satyagraha. That's the main weapon or the tool that is followed by that. As a human being, Gandhi had all the rights to travel at the first class compartment. Okay, but even though he was thrown away from the train, that was the first starting point. So he was discriminated because of his skin color. White and black. Okay, discrimination is not only based on the color, on the basis of race, gender, place of birth, caste, religion, and so on. Okay, so due to these discriminations, people are prohibited from enjoying the basic human rights. Right? That was the main thing for what is human right, or what is human rights. What are human rights? The UNO, United Nations Organization, defined human rights as the right to inherent all human beings regardless of race, gender, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion and any over other status. Okay, everyone is entitled, allowed, provided to these rights without any discrimination. Okay, so human, very well, every 10th December of every year is celebrated as the Human Rights Day. The history of human rights has roots in all great events of the world, and it has sustained the struggle for freedom and equality. Okay, everywhere. The UNO was formed on 24th October 1945, very well, after the Second World War, to maintain the peace and international security in the world further. It proposed to deal with the consequences of war and prevent such happening in the future. Okay. October 24 is the UNO day, very well. See, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, has played a crucial role in promoting the human rights further. Okay, there is no doubt at all. We must obey and we must follow that. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. See, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a milestone document in the history of human rights, okay, because that has created the human right. So it was drafted by the representatives with the different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world, right? The declaration was declared by the UN General Assembly in Paris on 10th December 1948, okay, as a common standard of achievement of all people and all the nations. See, the first time it sets out the fundamental human rights to be universally protected, and the UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, has been translated into many languages. See, there are nearly 30 articles in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and it guarantees freedom of expression as well as civil, political, social, economical and cultural rights. See, these rights apply to all the people irrespective of their race, gender, age, nationality, as all the people are born free and are equal, right? What are the social, economic and cultural rights for that? See, social, economic and cultural rights are integral part of the human rights law, that was developed due to aftermath of the Second World War. Social rights are necessary for full participation in the society, right? Economic rights guarantee every person have conditions under which they are able to meet their needs, okay. They are a part of range of legal principles through which economic equality and freedom are preserved in a state. Cultural rights are human rights that aim at assuring the enjoyment of culture and its components in conditions of equality, human dignity and non-discrimination, okay. These are social, economical and cultural rights. What is meant by civil right? What is meant by political right? See, civil and political rights protect an individual's freedom from infringement by the government, social organizations and private individuals. These rights ensure one's ability to participate in the civil and political life of the society and state, okay. The term civil rights refers to the basic rights afforded by laws to the government to every person regardless of race, nationality, color, gender, age, religion, etc. Okay, this is called as civil and political rights. Civil rights, political rights exercised in the formation at the administration of a government. Political rights, அரசியல் ரீதியா என்ன உரிமைகள் இருக்கு, okay, they are given to the citizens by law. These rights give power to the citizens to participate either indirectly or directly in the administration, okay. That's the facility is provided by Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu to us. What are the fundamental rights in India? Fundamental rights are required for the all-round development of a human being, okay. They make the life of people in a meaningful by giving them rights like speech and to live in an area of their choice, okay. This is called as fundamental rights. What are the fundamental rights are available? Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, drain the wealth from you. உன்னுடைய சொத்துகளோ அல்லது ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியை யாரும் சுரண்டக்கூடாது. ரைட் அகேன்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸ்ப்ளாய்டேஷன், right to freedom of conscience and religion, cultural and fundamental rights for minorities, right to constitutional remedies, and okay, these are things: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of conscience and religion, cultural and fundamental educational rights of minorities, right to constitutional remedies, okay. First one is right to equality. What is meant by right to equality? It refers to the equality before law and equal protection of law. Prohibition or discrimination on the grounds of religion, caste, races, gender or place of birth is offensive and one can seek justice from court, okay. That is called as right to equality. Next one is right to freedom. 6 different types of freedom are mentioned in the constitution, okay. They are: first one is freedom of speech and expression, freedom of assemble peacefully without arms. ஒரு இடத்துல எல்லாரும் நம்ம சேரலாம், ஆனா நம்மகிட்ட ஆயுதங்கள் இருக்க கூடாது. Freedom to form association and union, trade union, association, okay, சங்கங்கள். freedom to reside and settle any part of India. எங்க வேணாலும் வாழலாம் இந்தியாக்குள்ள. Okay, before that Jammu and Kashmir were exception. Now that is also provided by the our Prime Minister Modi's government had given that. So we have rights to settle, live anywhere of the India. Freedom to move freely through the territory of India. Freedom to practice any profession and carry on any occupation, trade or business. Okay, that's you know very well. Right against exploitation. See, it is against the law to employ children below 14 years of age in mines, factories or other occupations. கம்பல்சரியாக 14 வயதுக்கு கீழே இருக்க குழந்தைகள் எந்த விதமான சுரங்கத்திலையும் ஃபேக்டரிலையும் அல்லது தொழில் செய்யக்கூடாது. ஓகே, நெய்தர் கான்ட்ராக்டர் நார் அன் எம்ப்ளாயர் கேன் ஃபோர்ஸ் எ ஒர்க்கர் to do a job against of their will. Okay, this is compulsorily what is that violated by the government. It is offensive also. Then right to freedom or conscience of religion. Thus this right gives the citizens freedom to follow and practice a religion of their choice. Okay, of their choice. All citizens have the freedom of conscience or ideas. There is no doubt at all. The citizens also have the freedom to follow their own ways of for participating any religion. Okay, then cultural and educational rights. The Constitution gives us the right to preserve, protect and promote culture. We have the right to open schools, associations and societies to preserve and promote our tradition and culture. Similarly, a group of people may open a school for providing religious education to children. Okay, the government also promotes such activities further. So human rights as declared by the UN suggest minimum standards of rights to be adopted by government, and these serve more or less like directive principles. Okay, this is called as fundamental rights, right? So human rights is different, fundamental rights is different further. Human rights is nothing but the rights that a human being deserves to survive with respect to freedom. Fundamental right is nothing but the elemental rights of the citizens of a country which are listed in the Constitution and enforceable under the law is known as fundamental rights. Okay, fundamental rights include only those rights which are the basic to the what is that normal life, basic to a normal life. But human rights include those rights which are basic to real life and absolute, that is it cannot be taken away. Human rights are recognized as international level. Fundamental rights are guaranteed under the Constitution of our country based on our Constitution. Okay, so this is called as what is the right to constitutional remedies. See, fundamental rights are guaranteed by the Constitution. Indian Constitution, just you know very well, அரசியல் சட்ட சாசனம். By this right, a person can adopt constitutional means and approach a court if he is denied, மறுக்கப்படுதல், not given the fundamental rights. Okay, the court thus issues orders which are called writs to the government to restore the rights to the citizen. Okay, the constitutional remedies put to right anything which may be wrong in terms of the Constitution. The right therefore protects and safeguard what is that all other rights. Okay, there is no doubt at all. What is meant by fundamental duty? Fundamental rights is different, fundamental duty is different. Fundamental duty, அடிப்படை உரிமைகள், அடிப்படை கடமைகள். See, these are in the form of duties and responsibilities of the citizen. உன்னுடைய கடமைகள், நம்முடைய கடமைகள், என்னுடைய கடமைகள். The original Constitution which came into force with the effect of 26 January 1950 did not contain fundamental duties. Actually, there were merged the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment. Amendment means I already told you existing laws can made a minor change. சிறிய திருத்தங்கள் ஏற்கனவே ஏற்றப்பட்ட சட்டத்தில். Okay, in 1976 the Constitution states 11 fundamental duties. Actually, first one is respect for the Constitution and an ideals, institutions, national flag and the national anthem. Okay, don't forget that. Compulsory you must obey them. To follow and promote the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. To defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Okay, to promote harmony and spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India. Right? To value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, mixed culture. To protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lake, river, wildlife and have compassion, mercy on living creatures. கண்டிப்பாக எல்லா உயிர்கள் மேலேயும் நம்ம கருணை வைக்கணும். ஓகே, to develop the scientific temper, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform, to protect public property, okay, பொது சொத்துக்களை கண்டிப்பாக பாதுகாக்கணும், and to observe from violence, அராஜகம் பண்ணக்கூடாது, to strive towards excellence in all spheres, okay, all spheres, right, of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievements, okay, to provide opportunities for education by the parent and guardian to their child was or what may be up to the age of 14 years, compulsory, that our government has created the act of what is that free and compulsory education act, okay, for until the completion of 14 years of age. And then National Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Manida Urimai Aanayam, national level, state level, district level. See, the National Human Rights Commission is an autonomous individual body constituted on 12th October 1993 under the Protection of Human Rights Act of 1993. It consists of a chairman and a few other members, 3 from judiciary, 4 from other department, okay. So the National Human Rights Commission is responsible for the protection and the promotion of human rights in India, defined by the act and dignity of the individual, guaranteed by the constitution, or embodied in the international covenants treaties. Its office is located in New Delhi, okay. What are the functions of the National Human Rights Commission? First one, to inquire into the violation of the human rights or negligence, okay, negligence in the prevention of such violation by a public servant, right, to intervene in the court proceedings relating to human rights, to undertake and promote research in the field of human rights, to engage in human rights education among various sections of the society, okay, to encourage the effect of NGO, non-governmental organization and institutions working in the field of what is that human rights, right. Same thing, there was the State Human Rights Commission also available. It is also under the control of the state government, okay. It is also set up in the year of 1993. The protection and the promotion of human rights provide of the principal concern of the commission, that is a main motto. Moreover, the procedures adopted by the commission to conduct its proceedings suo motu, own motion in Latin, actions taken on complaints regardless of the sources received and transparency of the proceedings, okay, of the proceedings. This is called as State Human Rights Commission. What are its functions? Same thing, same of the National Human Rights Commission. The State Human Rights Commission shall inquire into violation of human rights in respect of matters specified in the state and concurrent list, okay. Its main aim and duties are the same of National Human Rights Commission, but confined only to the state, that is entire country. This is only for the Tamil Nadu, means Tamil Nadu only, okay, only for the state only. It has a chairman and 2 members, okay, totally 3 members, chairman and other 2 members. It has the power of a civil court and can take cognizance of cases individually, self, received warrants suo motu. It can also recommend compensation to the victims, so those who are affected, no, that is called as, okay. Same thing, child rights is available. Apart from the fundamental rights described by the constitution, we have to ensure certain other rights also. A child is a person who had not completed the age of 18 years, that is a minor as per the UN. 18 வயசு முடியாத வரைக்கும் அவங்க எல்லாரும் குழந்தைகள் தான் வராங்க, ரைட்டா. This principle is exhibited in Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Okay, based on these principles, the Declaration of the Human Rights is the child was accepted and adopted UN General Assembly on 20th November 1989, right. What are their rights? So right to life, right to family environment, right to education, right to benefit from the social security, right against sexual exploitation, right against sale or trafficking, right against other forms of exploitation like child labor, okay. What is meant by right to life? A child has the right to survive even before its birth. வாழ்வதற்கான உரிமை. The right to survive, while survival also includes the right to be born, the right to basic needs of food, shelter, clothing and a dignified living, okay. Right to family environment. A child has the right to live in a normal childhood in family environment. Children who have been left destitute, abandoned or orphanaged also have the right to live. Okay, these children can be given for adoption of caring families. Right to benefit from social security. What is that? Children should get financial support from the country when their parents or guardians are unable to provide them with a good standard of living by themselves due to any illness, disabilities or old age. Okay, what is meant by right to education? Parliament of India enacted in 2009 for free and compulsory education, இலவச கட்டாய கல்வி சட்டம். Right, that was created by Parliament the year of 2009 from 6 to 14 years of age under the Article 21A of our Constitution. Right, that is main thing for that. And next one is what is that? Right against sale or trafficking of children. கடத்தல், குழந்தை கடத்தல். Children should be treated as individuals with the fundamental human rights. Children are vulnerable, okay, not affected. These there are root causes such as poverty, gender discrimination, male or female, no, broken families, அந்த குடும்பம் சிதஞ்சு போகிறது, பிகைன் த சேல் ஆர் டிராஃபிக்கிங் த சில்ட்ரன், குழந்தையை வித்துறது இல்லாட்டி கடத்தி கொண்டு போயிடுது. ஓகே, ஸோ சில்ட்ரன் ஆர் சப்ஜெக்டட் டு சேல் ஆர் டிராஃபிக்கிங் ஃபார் வேரியஸ் ரீசன்ஸ். தட் இஸ் எக்கனாமிக் எக்ஸ்ப்ளாய்டேஷன், செக்ஷுவல் எக்ஸ்ப்ளாய்டேஷன், தட் இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த மேஜர் அண்ட் crucial that was happening nowadays for that. Sexual abuse, misuse, drug trafficking and child labor. Okay, குழந்தை மூலமாக கடத்துறது, குழந்தைங்களை மிஸ்யூஸ் பண்ணுறது, செக்ஸுவலாக ஹராஸ் பண்ணுறது, இது எல்லாமே. ரைட், then right against exploitation. The state should protect the children from sexual exploitation and abuse, misuse when they are forced or persuaded to take part in sexual activities physically or mentally. Okay, under any circumstances. So there was an act is called as POCSO, you know very well. Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act was available in our country. That should goes to give the safeguard or the protection for the who is that children. And also you know very well, child helpline number is also available. That is 1098, I think so, isn't it? Okay, 1098 is a child line in India's first 24 hours free and emergency helpline, isn't it? Okay, you may contact further if you are in any trouble. Immediately just you can use the number of 1098. That is all child helpline. Immediately you can get the help from the where is that Department of Police, I think so, from collector to police department actually. Right against other forms of exploitations like child labor. What is that? See, children are often employed in several industries. That's we have seen that nowadays. We have seen that these children are deprived, plucked of their child. அவனுடைய உரிமை நம்ம பறிச்சோம், குழந்தை தன்மை நம்ம எடுத்துறோம். Health spoiled, education also spoiled. This will lead to a life of poverty, isn't it? Okay, consecutive poverty தான் வாழ முடியும். These children are made to work in what is it, glass factory, right, and then matchbox factory, lock making factories, அப்புறம் rack picking, carpet making industry, bead rolling, okay, mining, stone quarrying, brick kilns and the tea gardens, etc. So work is mostly gender specific, that's you know very well, with the girls performing more home based work for that, while boys are employed as waged labor. Girls in home, boys are waged labor. Since these children work in agricultural fields, restaurants, motor repair workshops and home based on industries, elimination of child labor remains a challenge for that. Okay, that's the biggest trouble among that. Many child rights in the Indian Constitution is available for that. Okay, nearly the findings of an international survey reveals shown that children with disabilities are 3.4% of more sexually abused than normal children. Okay, that's one of the pathetic information is available in our throughout the world. So many articles are available. Article 24 is one important. No child below the age of 14 must be employed in a hazardous employment, very difficult employment. Article 45, free and compulsory education, okay, for all children they attain the age of 14 years. Okay, that is one thing available. Same thing, fundamental rights and child right. Same thing, women rights is also available. பெண் உரிமை. Okay, National Commission for Women, தேசிய மகளிர் ஆணையம், are provided in India, set up in India to review the constitutional and legal safeguards for the woman, recommends remedial measures and advises the government on all matters of policy affecting the welfare and development of women in the country. Okay, in modern India, women have held high offices, that's you know very well, like as president, isn't it? Okay, Prime Minister like as Indira Gandhi, Speaker of Lok Sabha, and then leader of the opposition party, union ministers, cabinet ministers, chief ministers, governors, so and so. Many important roles were played by our women, isn't it okay? So women's right under Constitution of India mainly include equality, dignity and freedom from discrimination. Okay. Additionally, India has various status governing the rights of women on 1924 at Vaikam in Kerala, isn't it okay? E. Periyar E.V. Ramasamy, you know very well, the biggest social reformer of Tamil Nadu, right? Okay, and then he agitated for the temple entry for Dalits, as well as in 1925 he started the self-respect movement, Suya Maryada Iyakam. That's you know very well, isn't it okay? That's a very very important thing for that. Same thing, and because of the several acts, some of the reservation is also as given that the state of Tamil Nadu provides 69% of the reservation to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, MBC, that is the most backward classes, denotified communities and the backward classes in public employment and in educational institutions. Okay, backward class Muslims BCM are granted a separate reservation. You know very well, there was a separate table is also available for BC 26.5%, BCM 3.5%, MBC 20%, scheduled caste like SC 18%, scheduled tribe only 1%, totally 69% of the reservation has to be created by Government of India. Under each reserved category and in general category, 30% is reserved for women. Okay, not for only for males, 30% is reserved for women, and in 4% is reserved for the differently abled persons. Special reservation to Arundhadiyar SCA, okay, has been granted by preferential allotment of seats in the seats reserved for scheduled caste. Inside the scheduled caste allotment, there was a separate allotment of SCA also. For the persons studied in Tamil medium, 20% seats are offered under each category on the priority basis. Okay, so in Tamil Nadu, transgenders has been classified under most backward classes, right? And then final one more act is thing, but Right to Information Act, Thagaval Ariyum Urimai Chattam. Right to Information Act. The Right to Information Act is a revolutionary act that aims to promote transparency in the government institutions in India. This act was created in October 2005. Right? A common man can demand any government organization to provide information, whatever the information, except our security, military, personnel, remaining we will collect that. The information must be provided within 30 days. If not, a fees will be collected as penalty from the concerned official. Okay, that act is called as what is that? It is one of the powerful law of the country. This act is people friendly. Even an illiterate person can ask any public information, okay, office to write it down for him. No need to expense what, just write me a separate white paper, enough. We can apply of any department, we can collect the information from them. All government agencies like municipal corporation, government departments, government schools, road authorities, various things etc. Came under this category. Okay, through the Right to Information Act can get even copies of government documents also, such as records, reports, papers etc. whatever it may be. Personal information of individuals and organizations related to the country's defense and intelligence, such as Border Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force, Intelligence Bureau are exempted. Government won't go to provide these of the informations, right? Just sign the application form with your full name and address with the date and send it through the registered post to the office of the concerned authority. That's all. If a reply is not received within 30 days, an appeal can be filed with the appellate authority. Okay. And finally, labor rights, Tholilalar Urimaigal, okay, employees' rights. See, the Constitution provides a right to equality of opportunity in the public employment, right to form association and unions, right to livelihood, வாழ்வாதாரம், prohibits trafficking, குழந்தை கடத்தல தடுக்கிறது, forced labor, கட்டாயப்படுத்தி யாரையும் வேலை வாங்க முடியாது, வேலை செய்ய சொல்லக்கூடாது, and child labor. Article 39D ensures equal wages to male and female workers for equal work. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. Okay, said John F. Kennedy. Civilized nations of the world insist on equality. Nations pay more attention on the human rights to ensure equality. This helps in maintaining peace, harmony and development of the country. Okay, development of the country, right? So these are the things available in this lesson. Just you go through that. Actually, just we have seen that what are the topics? Just we have seen that discrimination is the partial treatment of people. That's we have seen that. UNO's definition of human rights. history of human rights has its roots from aftermath of the Second World War, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, okay, and then Indian Constitution ensures how many fundamental rights? 6 fundamental rights, and then 11 duties of, okay, formation and functions of National and State Human Rights Commission, extended rights such as child right, SC and ST rights, women rights, Right to Information Act, and labor law. Okay, thank you students, thank you one and all. Go through the lesson. If you have any doubt, ask me or WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. We will